Hello everyone and welcome to Tech with NK. So today we're going to work on problem set 2, and in this video we're going to solve the exercise Coke machine. So I'm going to open this up, and in this new tab we'll have the exercise that's been given to us. So what we're expected to do is to create a file, we'll call it coke.py, and implement a program that prompts the user to insert a coin one at a time, and each time informing the user of the amount due. And once the user has inputted at least 50 cents, we are supposed to output how many cents in the change the user is owed, and assume that the user will only input integers and ignore any integer that isn't an accepted denomination. So what are the accepted denominations? We have 5 cents, 10 cents, and 25 cents. So if we look at this demo, let me start this back from the beginning. So when we run our file, our file is supposed to output amount due 50, and if we insert coin, so we're going to prompt the user to insert a coin. If the user enters 25, our amount due should output 25, and prompt the user once more to enter another amount. If the user enters 25, then we should output change owed 0. So basically subtracting 25 from the amount due. And now if we look at this other example, when we output 50, if the user is prompted to enter a value and the user enters 50, we should still output amount due 50. Why? Because 50 is not among the accepted denominations. The only accepted denominations are 25, 10, and 5 cents. And even if the user enters something else like 49, that's still not accepted, and so our code should still output amount due 50. That's it here, until the user enters something like 25 before it outputs amount due 25. So it has done the subtraction because that's a correct denomination, and so forth. So that's it for the explanation. I think that's clear enough. So we're going to go to VS Code. We'll create a folder called Coke. We'll move into that folder, and then we'll create the file. So now that we're in VS Code, we'll start by creating the folder, or call it Coke. Then I'm going to cd into Coke. That's change directory, or cd coke. Then I'm going to create the file coke.py. Now that our file has been created for us, I'm just going to close the terminal and concentrate here. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to get input from the user, and then we're supposed to check that input. So there are a number of things that we're supposed to do here. I'm just going to start by writing the code, explain it gradually, and then I'll do a rundown of the program for you to understand what it does. So I'll create a variable, or call it amount, and I'm going to initialize it to 0. Basically, amount is going to contain the user's input. Then I'm going to create another variable, or call it Coke price, which will initialize to 50. That's the price for a Coke bottle. So if we look at the behavior of our code, we realize that our code is supposed to keep doing something, keep looping, until the user's input has gotten to a set value, that's 50, or until we are owing the user a certain amount of money. So to do this, I'm going to use a while loop, or say while amount, that's our user's input, is less than the price of a Coke bottle, that's 50. What are we going to do? We're going to print, I'm going to use an F string to print this, amount due, okay? And then what's the amount due? We're going to print the difference of the Coke price and the user's current amount. So you see that the first time that we run this code, this is going to print 50, because currently the Coke price is at 50 and the amount is at 0, which is what we want. Then we're going to get input from the user, okay? Then I'm going to save that in the different variable, or just call it user input. Then I'm going to use the int function to convert this user's input into an integer, and use the input function, or pass a string to it, or say insert coin. Insert coin, okay, that's good. So what am I going to do with the user's input? I'm going to check if this input is found in the right denomination. What are the denominations that have been given to us? We have 5, 10, and 25. So that's for 5 cents, 10 cents, and 25 cents. To make this a little bit better, I think I'm just going to create another variable for this. I'll say denominations, and then I'll cut this from here. I'll paste it here. Then here I'm just going to say in denominations. Okay, that's better. So if user input is found in denominations, that's either 5, 10, or 25. That's when we're going to update the value of the amount. So I'll say amount plus equal to user input. We're going to increment the value of amount with the user's input if and only if it's found in the correct denomination. And when that's done, what we're left to do is to print out the change old. So I'll say change old, yes. And what's a change old? This time around, we're going to take the user's input, that's amount, take the difference from the user's input and the price of a Coke bottle. We are printing the difference of the user's amount with the price of a Coke bottle because if you look at our while loop, we realize that the user is going to exit this while loop only when his input, that's amount, is greater than the value of a Coke price, that's 50. And if that's the case, we'll exit this while loop and then we're going to print the change old. And so to avoid having any negative values, we're going to print amount minus Coke price. So this should work just fine. What I'm going to do is save this or create a new terminal or clear this, and then I'm going to run python coke.py. So this looks to be working just fine up to now. We have amount due 50, so I'll just say 25 as insert coin, amount due 25, I enter 25 again, change old 0. That's what we expected. If I run this again, amount due. Now if I enter something that's in the wrong denomination, let's say what, 50, we see we're still asked to enter the amount due. Why? Because 50 is not the correct denomination. There's no cent like 50 cents. In fact, there's no amount like 50 cents rather. If I still enter something that's wrong, let's say 49, we'll still prompt it amount due 50 because we've not entered anything that's correct up to now. But then if I enter say 10, we'll have amount due 40. If I enter 5 again, amount due 35. If I enter 25, amount due 10, that's 10 cents. And if I enter 25 again, we have change owed 15 cents. So our code works just fine. Thank you for following up to the end of this video with me. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope everything is clear. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, do well to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And I look forward to seeing you in my upcoming videos. That's it for today. Have a good day.